We're back here on air and at Dorn Park. Sorry for the delay here, as the internet here for the Bourne Braves very spotty, affects the broad and our internet streams. So we will hopefully be up and running and stay up and running grounded out. And Willie yawned. He walked to first with 2 outs. Jeremy Ehrman advancing to third on a pass ball, and then Jake Mangum struck out to end the inning. So Eubanks leaves 2 runners on for Bourne in the third. Now we're in the fourth, and Cameron Este is at the plate. He swings at the first offering from Brady Miller. It's popped up first down out of the inning, right on that foul line. From Miller's across for a strike. Brady Miller now innings of work. He's only given up, but has already allowed 5 base runners as this curveball misses low and it gets by Marrero for ball 1. A 1-1 count now with 1 out. And Chris Hudgens.
And that can be the biggest thing that can be the death of you. He's allowed 5 guys to reach base, and he allowed another guy to get to third. He doesn't allow that. The pass ball by Marrero means nothing, and Hyannis can't get the run scored, but they're able to do that.
Miller comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's way up there. It gets past Marrero, hits the backstop, and Brady Miller has really struggled with his command in this one. I mean, it's when he's missing spots, he is missing spots. Yeah. I mean, they're not even close.
I mean, that might be the most ironic thing you've seen is his fastball goes way above the head, hits the backstop, and trickles basically all the way out back to the mound. I mean, that is nothing for a pitcher.
Here's the pitch. A curveball missing up at the head of Hudgens, and it's a 3-1 count now to the catcher who had 2 hits in last night's game. Both singles. He waits the 3-1 pitch from Brady Miller. It's a fastball that misses low. The 3rd walk issued this evening. 4th walk, excuse me. Excuse me once again. 5th walk issued by Brady Miller. 5 walks on the evening for Brady Miller. Also a hit batter. And there's where you've got that have reached for Hyannis, plus those 2 hits.
And his game right now, unfortunately, though, their game might be thwarted right now. His manager Shapiro is going to come out here. He might pull it right here for Miller. But really, you would hope if you're Hyannis that Miller comes back into this because he's really not have his spots right now. But I don't think Shapiro is going to allow him, and he will not.
That will be it for Brady Miller with Peter Zyla on deck and Brett Netzer in the hole here stands. But nonetheless, Brady Miller's day is done after 3 2 1/3 innings of work. He is responsible for that 1 run, and the runner on first base that stands in Chris Hudgens. We'll be back in just a few moments here with the pitching change. You're listening to Harbor Hawks Baseball League Network. Pitching change here at Bourne Park as Brady Miller's day is done after 3 1/3 inning of work, as it will be Doug Norman out of LSU relieving the right-hander in his 5th appearance here on the Cape. He has 1 win under his belt, that coming on July 2nd to Brewster in a 2-1 win, where he pitched an inning and a third, only gave up 1 hit. He's only given up 3 hits here on the Cape, only 1 earned run as well. In 6 1/3 innings of work. For the first time as Zyla fouls this one back into the screen for strike 1. Zyla reached a wild pitch. 1 out here and 1 runner on, and Chris Hudgens at first. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Norman. This one is low at the feet of Peter Zyla, who moves out of the way.
The appearances, 2 starts, while at LSU, a 3.41 ERA, 31 2/3 innings pitched, a 230 batter average against with 21 strikeouts and 18 walks, along with 26 hits as well. Only 8 doubles, no triples, and no home runs.
Hudgens takes off. Zyla swings through, but the fastball was way up in the zone. The throw down from Marrero beats Hudgens by a mile, as he will be tagged out for the second out of the inning. The hit and run was on, but it looked as that fastball was way out of the zone, and Zyla, he had to swing at it.
Yeah, both teams seem to play chess right there and go for the same. And really, you can just say Bourne caught Hyannis in their move, and you're exactly right. Zyla has to try and swing at that and save Hudgens there from being thrown out, but he just can't get anything on that fastball way upstairs.
Well, and finish out the inning right here on the 1-2. However, misses up top. He's alive now with 2 outs in the third. A 1-0 lead for Hyannis on 2 hits. Only 1 hit for Bourne. That coming Jeremy Ehrman. 2 offering from Doug Norman. Fastball misses low, and Marrero can't block it. It gets all the way back to the backstop.
And you can clearly see the move that manager Shapiro had to make there with Miller. Even though Miller had only allowed 1 run in that game, and really it wasn't off of him, it was off of a pass ball by Marrero from Miller, but you had to do it with just all the walks, because at some point Hines was going to get to him.
Payoff pitch is chopped foul down that first base side. And look for a moment, and it might be fair, but it skips past the first base bag.
Because I think
broken bat on the play, as Zyla will walk back to the dugout and get a new one. As you can hear it off the bat. Let the wood split, and now Zyla will come back to the dugout and take a look at some of the nice wood bats they've got. They've got some good Barnstable bats back there.
Everyone's offering up their bats.
Yeah.
He's like, you need my bat? He's like, what bat do you need?
Nick. Bat. As Hyannis gets them for free out here.
But I mean, really, when you look at Miller, that coming out, because Hyannis was going to find a way to get hits again, or just could not take him, continue to walk guys and put them on base.
Full count pitch from Norman. Zyla swings, flares it into left. Coming under it is McKinnon. And the side is retired here in the top half of the 4th inning. It was an Axis bat. It wasn't a Barnstable bat used by Peter Zyla. But nonetheless, it does him no good as he flies out into left to end the top half of the 4th inning for Hyannis. They leave no runners stranded as Chris Hudgens was caught stealing second out of the inning. And Alex Eubanks will work his way back on the bump. Has pitched 3 scoreless innings so far. We'll see if he can make it a 4th. A 1-0 ball game for Hyannis here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Chapman's Bar, perfect blend of fun and excitement. A proud member of Leading the World.
Justin Yurchek to lead off the fourth for Bourne. They are down 1-0. They only have one hit on the evening. 2 base runners, which were left on in the third inning by Jake Mangum, who struck out to end it. As Eubanks comes across with a first pitch fastball. That's called a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one is chopped to first. Henry will grab it before it goes foul. No, he won't. As the first base umpire signals that it did go foul before Cody Henry could grab it.
Henry making the case, though, that he had gloved it before it went completely over the bag on the foul side, and then he made the play.
I thought that he did as well. But that is clearly not the case. Nonetheless, it's an 0-2 count to Justin Yurchek. Eubanks kicks and fires. This one is popped up into no man's land. Netzer coming on from center field, and he's going to let it drop right in between him and Proctor. Yurchek rounds first, slides into second, and he is safe. A double. And that's exactly where it landed. No man's land as Ford Proctor and Netzer couldn't get to it. Rogers was charging in on it as well, but he didn't have the best chance at it. So Justin Yurchek will get a double out of it.
Yeah, and you could hear people talking. They will award him the hit. You could Rogers something, but no one really moved in. I would have to think that someone's telling me that it's your ball, but the other person couldn't see it, and they let it drop.
Kinnan. That's only the second double of the year for Justin Yurchek. He once had the highest batting average in the league, but has since dropped after a touch. He's gone 31. Now 3 for his last 33. The pitch from Eubanks is drilled into right center field. This one will land and be extra bases. It's Yurchek. David, it's back-to-back doubles for Bourne, and they tied for it.
Yeah, and really, that is what Bourne is able to do. They really just pick at you. And that's what they do there. It was a really simple golf swing early on by Yurchek. He gets the drop after 3 Hyannis players were surrounding it. And then just a simple hit there by McKinnon, and he scores a run to tie this game back up. That is really what the Bourne Braves are always been about, to get those simple hits. And if you're a Eubanks, you really can't be too frustrated after those were their only 2. Before the double there by McKinnon, your only 2 hits was a bloop that 3 guys weren't around to really make the play on, and a hot bounce just couldn't make over. And really, that's been the only difference in the game. Right now, it was 4 Hyannis. It's been a pass ball that scored a run for them, and it's been that miscue.
First pitch from Eubanks to the new batter in Connor Wong is a ball. Now the pitch is drilled again into right center field, but this time Brett Netzer comes under it. As David McKinnon, he'll just tag from third. A long and loud first out of the inning for Connor Wong. And a run on third with less than 2 outs. The go-ahead run on third base for Bourne. 2 back-to-back doubles for the Bourne Braves. Makes it 31 doubles on the season. They had the third lowest doubles total in the league coming into today's game. His extra base hits have just not been present for this Bourne Braves team. We mentioned they lost 6 in a row, but they've won 2 straight, and they have the go-ahead run at third. Connor McVeigh will have to do some damage against Hyannis. He's 0 for 1 tonight, but he watches the first pitch go by for a strike. As Alex Eubanks trying to keep this inning and the damage to what it has been. Here's the 0-1 pitch, blocked by Hudgens in the.
And I think at this point, if you're Eubanks, just concentrate on the guy at home. That's really what's gotten him to this point. And really, if you're Hyannis, you want to try and help him out and not score, because he has been fantastic for them. And it's just really all turned different.
Chopper to short, throws over, but none nonetheless, the go-ahead run comes in as David McKinnon gets that second run for Bourne. They lead it here 2-1 in the bottom half of the fourth inning. An RBI for Connor McVeigh. And now there's 2 outs for Alex Eubanks, who, after winning 2 straight decisions, one against Katuitt in 6 scoreless innings pitched, and then another against Chatham in 6 scoreless innings pitched. He got a loss in his last outing against Katuitt, where he surrendered 4 runs, and now he is down here in the fourth. But the first pitch to Danny Reyes, flown out into deep center field. It's no problem, however, for Brett Netzer, as he will make the grab to end the inning. But the damage is done. Bourne, they push across 2 here on 2 doubles. Back-to-back doubles by Justin Yurchek and David McKinnon. And then the RBI from Connor McVeigh to bring in McKinnon at third. It's a 2-1 lead for the Bourne Braves here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. You're listening to Harbor Hawks Baseball. We're entering the top of the 5th inning. Hyannis looks to strike back and even the score. Top of the order due up for Hyannis, Brett Netzer. He's chatting with Coach Gassman before the pitch. Is Netzer sporting that eye black right on his cheek, those thick lines. 1 for 2 on the evening, singled, came around to third, but did not score in the first inning. And then he flew out to third in his last plate appearance. Norman from the windup, his first pitch is low at the knees, and what a windup it is from the man with the mustache, Doug Norman, out of LSU. Really raises those hands and kind of circles them around right before he delivers the pitch. This pitch, Netzer will foul off, and it's a 1-1 count.
And one of the best opportunities for that eye black to help him. I mean, the sun is kind of just starting to set, but it's still pretty strong out there, especially in center field.
Netzer with 2 this evening as the fastball from Norman, 2 hits yesterday against Wareham. The fastball hits from Norman, and quickly the count moves to 1-2 against Brett Netzer. Norman, he'll kick and deliver as Netzer fouls this one off into the Hyannis dugout.
Really, for Norman, now you find your opportunity where you're up 2-1, and he can really be in his groove a little bit more and probably find a little bit. And that's a little bit more of Shapiro taking out Miller, because then you put in a reliever who can take a couple of innings.
The 1-2 pitch just misses on the outer half, the fastball. Netzer was 0 for 9 before last night's game. Scored 2 runs, hit a double on 2 hits. Also knocked in a run. 2-2 pitch is grounded to second. McVeigh's got it. He throws on to first. And there's 1 out here. In the top half of the 5th inning, a 2-1 ball game. Bourne leads after they struck back in the bottom half of the 4th inning off of 2 doubles. One of those doubles, however, you could argue should have been caught by either Proctor or Netzer out in center. It was in the middle of no man's land. It looked like Netzer called Proctor off.
Yeah, the classic case of the Bermuda Triangle, as I like to call it, because Rogers came in from left field as well.
Speaking of Ford Proctor, he now stands at the plate. He's walked in both plate appearances. He's only seen 1 strike today. Has not swung the bat. 1-0 pitch is way outside.
Would you swing the bat if you kept seeing balls fly past you?
Been close. As he's been getting on base, but I'm sure that he does not like watching every pitch go way by the strike zone. This one misses low, and it's a 3-0 count. And for some reason tonight, Ford Proctor is the kryptonite to these Bourne Braves pitchers. They cannot find the zone against him as Norman kicks and deals, and this one's way outside. A 4-pitch walk, the 3rd of the evening for Ford Proctor, and it's only the 5th inning.
Yeah, and he's going to go. I mean, he'll probably come back up again at some point. He goes, have 2 more bats, and hopefully those 2 will get actually recorded. If he gets walked again and someone sees, oh, so he had 1 at bat today? And he's like, no, I had 4 walks. I had 3 walks too today. So really just really has not seen that many strikes. He's probably only seen 1, but Hyannis has not been able to utilize.
Well, Proctor now that number at 14. The next, the second man behind him. That one being Jordan Rogers with 7. As Zach Rutherford watched the ball and deliver a fastball way up in the zone. Now 6 straight balls from Doug Norman. Lineup here in Hyannis. There is 1 out in the inning. Brett Netzer grounded out to second. To 2-1 ball game. Bourne leading as Norman tries to deliver a strike for the first time in 6 pitches. Rutherford swings it. It chops it to Yon, but it gets by him. It trickles into left field as Rutherford smoked that ball right at Willie Yon. We'll see if they credit it as a hit or an error. No official scoring yet, but nonetheless, 2 runners on for Hyannis with 1 out and Jordan Rogers at the plate. Hyannis trying to strike back here in the 5th.
Yeah, and really for Hyannis, that's what you need to look for. I mean, you get a scorcher right past John. They do put it down as an error, though, for him. But either way, you get another spot where you can put guys on for them. You just have to find a way, if you're Hyannis, to put another run across, especially with what Eubanks has been doing on the mound and how those 2 runs for Bourne were allowed.
Well, now 2 runners on for with 1 out here in the 5th. The pitch from Norm is foul tipped into the glove. Marrero. Group gathering and playing some soccer out in deep center field on the flagpole. Beautiful fields here at Cape Cod Tech. Norman taking his time on the mound. He finally does get the sign. He'll come set at the shoulders. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Rogers. A fastball that misses just outside. It's a 1-1 count. Slight breeze. Headed out into straight center field. Kind of puts a nice... A 1-1 pitch. This one is fouled off, working its way out of play, first base side. Over the first base dugout. Dylan Busby on deck. for 1 this evening with a walk. Like something big's going to happen when he gets up to the plate.
Usually something.
Rogers working with 2 runners on for Hyannis. 1-2 pitch from Norm. This one is popped up. It will stay in play. Getting under it is Jeremy Ehrman, and he will make the grab. Infield fly rule was in effect. Hyannis to a 6-1 win. A much-needed win after losing 2 straight on Saturday. Or she one on Saturday with a pitch and a Katu had lost as well. One game on Sunday was home, 2-1 loss. As first pitch off for a strike. Norm now working with 2 outs here in the top. He's got a lead behind it, but only 1 run. As Ford Proctor stands on second, threatening to tie this ball game at 2s. The Bourne dugout.
Was looking for that one too. He thought he was staying. It just dropped right as he got contact on it, and made some pretty solid contact too. If that stayed up a little bit longer, he might have had a nice shot into left field.
Norm comes set, 2 outs and 2 on. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Busby. Fastball on the outside corner. Got him looking. As Hyannis, they strand 2 base runners. They've stranded 7 this evening against Bourne through 5 innings. Led to the bottom of the 5th. It's a 2-1 lead for the Bourne Braves here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. inning, but just got
to say completely. That whole inning is different, and it makes that catch out in shallow center field, and they either don't find a run against Eubanks where it can be on the Bourne side, but really, you look back at that.
First pitch to Hyannis is a ball. He squared for the bump and pulled it back, and Eubanks really, if you erase that little bloop mistake, has only given up one hit, but actually he's given up two as Jan ropes this one past the diving Dylan Busby. He's held up at first after a strong throw from Rodgers. And I mean, other than that big double from McKinnon and that hit from Jan there, Eubanks has not allowed much.
And that one just got under the glove from Dylan Busby. Over at third would have been a spectacular play, just a couple inches, even from just stopping it, and he couldn't make it. But that's how Bourne's gotten it done. They've capitalized completely on Hyannis miscues, and they found hits when they needed them.
Here's Jake Mangum. This pitch from Eubanks is low in the dirt. Good block from Hudgens. As Mangum right behind Yurchek with the .313 average this season, as Rutherford leads the league now in average for the time being. Yurchek in second, hitting .318. As Rutherford right now for Hyannis hitting .324. And right behind him, Jake Mangum at .313. As Eubanks throws over for the second time to first, trying to get Jan.
I was going to say that top average when it comes to the Cape is basically a rotating door.
Yeah.
Day to day, you could have a new guy. You could have a new guy probably every hour.
After the 5 o'clock hour. Pitch from Eubanks is low. It's a 2-0 count now to Jake Mangum, who's 0 for 2 on the evening. Grounded it short in the first inning and struck out swinging in the third with 2 runners on. Here, hitting with 1 runner on and 2 outs in the fifth with a 2-1 lead. Eubanks kicks and fires the curveball. This one is fouled back into the screen behind home.
And you wonder, he's only allowed those 2 runs. How much longer he has for hard to tell, but it doesn't seem like anyone's warming up in the Hyannis bullpen.
Eubanks throws over to first. Jan slides in head first. He'll be in there safely.
So unless anything gets worse here for Eubanks, he might be Hyannis' guy going to the 6th inning.
The pitch from Eubanks is in the dirt, misses. And now a 3-1 count for Jake Mangum with 2 outs here in the fifth. Eubanks has pitched into the 6th inning in his last 4 starts. He pitched 6 strongs in the win against Chatham and the win against Katuitt. And then in his most recent loss against Katuitt, where he gave up 4, he pitched 5 1/3. The pitch from Eubanks is low. It gets by Hudgens, but only a few inches. As Jan stands at second now. And Mangum at first. He works himself a 2-out walk, and who started this whole rally in the 4th inning for Bourne, comes to the no man's land in center field. 1 for 2 on the evening. Eubanks trying to quiet anything here in the 5th, but he misses low. And now Chris Hudgens will come out and talk with Eubanks.
Yeah, you can see now a good move by Hudgens because Eubanks has missed a lot of his pitches down low in the dirt. Hasn't been where he spotted them earlier on in the game. And I don't really know what it could be exactly. I mean, it could be from he's gotten guys out like that. But that's really been the biggest thing. But we're really crossing the play at the low part where guys have to take swings, and now they're dropping than he wants them to.
The pitch to Yurchek is a strike on the outer half. Now 1-1 count. As Yurchek, we already mentioned his struggles as of late, 2 for his last 31. He's got a hit tonight, had a hit last night against Chatham. and hit the night before. This pitch he fouls off. It stays. Looked like it was going to stay fair. I thought it bounced off home plate, but the home plate umpire signaling that it was foul. But nonetheless, a 1-2 count with 2 outs here and 2 runners on in the 5th inning. Bourne with a 2-1 lead. Yurchek being one of those runs as he came around to score. David McKinnon the other, who doubled in Yurchek and then he ground out to short. Eubanks on the it's a curveball, but this one is fouled up and out of play at Dorn Park.
That was a nice curveball by Eubanks. He dropped it right where he wanted to. Yurchek knew he had to swing at it. And now he has him on the ropes here a little bit. Control of his breaking pitch a little bit more to try to deal.
1-2 out for Bourne. Justin Yurchek at the plate. Cody Hyannis, Blangham at first. Pitch again in the dirt. Hudgens blocks it. And now Yurchek works a full count with 2 outs here and 2 runners on in the 5th. Eubanks trying to null any sort of threat here by Bourne that could be in the making. Here's the payoff pitch from Eubanks. A fastball drilled into right field. He's waved around third. The throw is going to be into second. And with 2 outs here in the 5th, Bourne strikes again. Justin Yurchek gets his first RBI in quite some time. And now Bourne leads it 3-1 in the 5th as Eubanks cannot seem to work out of the 5th inning here at Dorn Park.
And Bourne is just peppering against him. They're sitting back now. They've seen he's dropping his breaking pitches low. He can't hit him in his normal spots, so they're letting him throw pitches, and they found ones that he liked to hit. Had that walk against Magnum, and Jan got the hit against him that eventually led to the run scored, but you can clearly see that Eubanks is having struggles dropping that breaking pitch in, and Bourne is making him pay for it when he has to go to a different pitch.
First pitch to David McKinnon is low in the dirt for ball 1. Ron Polk coming out of the dugout and giving out signs to his defense as it is a 1st and 3rd situation with 2 outs. Eubanks trying to do it himself against David McKinnon, who on this pitch ropes it into left center field. 1 run comes around to score. Motoring around second is Yurchek. He'll slide in safely, and McKinnon will stand up at second base. Now 4-1. Bourne leading this one. And Alex Eubanks just with a nightmare 5th inning as all the damage has come with 2 outs here in the 5th. Willie Yawn started it. He singled to left right past the diving Dylan Busby at third. And then Eubanks walked Jake Mangum to put on 2. Yurchek then singled on a full count pitch into right field, which scored a runner. And then McKinnon with his 2nd hit of the evening in the left field scored another run. Runners on 2nd and 3rd now for Eubanks. And Connor Wong, the designated hitter at the plate, he swings at the first pitch but fouls it into the 3rd base dugout. And this one is getting away from Eubanks.
Yeah, now there's warm-ups going on in the Hyannis bullpen. And after working so well through the first 3 innings and even further on, Eubanks, Bourne has just found ways to see his pitches better and look and take one.
Big swing and a miss from McVeigh on the curveball in the outer half. An 0-2 count for Alex Eubanks, but on his last 0-2 count, he surrendered a walk to Jake Mangum. We'll see if he can put away there. 2 runs have crossed the plate. It's a 4-1 lead for the Bourne Braves, and they still have 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs and an 0 pitch. The curveball just missing the zone. Connor Wong at the plate, the designated hitter, hitting .304 on the hits, leads the team. Here's the curveball swinger, Connor Wong. And finally, Alex Eubanks gets that third out of the inning, but not before two more Bourne Braves cross to make this one a 4-1 game. Bourne leading it, headed into the sixth inning. You're listening to Hard Rocks Baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the sixth inning here. 4-1 lead against the Hyannis Hard Rocks. Jack Heffer and Gabe Sustic live from Bourne Park. Hyannis taking on the they played against Bourne. Although this fourth game coming almost a month they played Bourne at McKeon Park. Last time they played here at Bourne Park was the first day of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. And he still has to go get it. And Henry is going to slide in head first for Hyannis.
Love that Cody Henry slid in head first. There was no way that he needed to because the throw was nowhere near the bag. But Reyes just lost that in the sun as the outfield is still affected here at Bourne Park. Sun not put away yet. Almost the entire infield is shaded over.
So now camera. Norman kicks and deals, swing and a miss by Este, and he works his way to a full count.
Excuse me, six.
For Hyannis. No outs here in the top of the 6th inning as they trail 4-1.
And it's interesting and that ball roped past Yurchek at first. You would think that Cody Henry would be waved around third, but with Chris Hudgens and Peter Zyla coming up in the bottom of the lineup, they've been two hitters who have been seeing the ball really nicely so far. I mean, Hudgens has been on a tear since that 3-run homer at Brewster. And Peter Zyla with 3 hits last night. And he's seen the ball well tonight. He's been on base once from a hit by pitch, but flew out in his last. I like the confidence that manager Gassman has with his bottom 2 hitters in the lineup.
They will have to face a new pitcher, though, for the Bourne Braves as Doug Norman's day is done. He gets the handshake from manager Shapiro. Pitching change for Bourne here. No outs in the top of the 6th. Runners on the corners for Hyannis as they trip on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Still here in the top of the 6th inning. No outs, 2 men on for Hyannis. Cody Henry has made his way over to third after a leadoff double and a single by Cameron Este, both into right field. Have put them in scoring position for Cody Henry. They trail 4-1. And the new man on the mound will be Brendan Little, 6'2", 996-pounder, lefty from UNC. And he will stand in here, 2.61 ERA, 8th appearance, 10 in the 3rd innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks for him. And he'll send in here in a batter average against, though, of 143 for the Bourne Braves. He will face the righty in Chris Hudgens and then 2 lefties in Peter Zyla and Brett Netzer. And Hyannis now another opportunity for them to score runs and get back into this game against Bourne, who have scored 2 runs in their past 2 innings. As Brendan Little steps in relief for Doug Norman. He stares in now to Chris Hudgens as he looks and deals the first pitch, and that one's a hopper right over to second baseman in McVeigh. Deals the first over to home play. Cody Henry scores from and cuts 4-2.
Second, we saw last night against Wareham into 3. So not a good for the the multiple the multitude of double plays being turned against Hyannis. But I've done run again. You kind of kill yourself in this. He had 2 runners on and none.
This is that one is lobbed in and dropped right in front of the left fielder in McKinnon, and another base hit here for Peter Zyla. He now has 5 hits in his last 3 games for Hyannis.
And he had 5 hits coming into that game. He's just been on fire. Good for him. He's been looking for consistent playing time. The outfield really clogged up, but has gotten some playing time here in the middle half of the season.
And he wins his matchup between rivals of schools. ACC matchup as he takes down the Tar.
Little snaps at the throwback from Marrero. Obviously a little bit upset about that single from Zyla.
Here's Brett Netzer, the lefty. 0-1 pitch. Runner goes in. Zyla slides in as McVeigh cannot make the catch into his glove, and it's a stolen base for Zyla, and he puts himself in scoring position with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th.
Second stolen base on the evening for Peter Zyla. So not only getting it done at the plate, but getting it done on the base paths. Fielding has been his struggle, however. Has made a big error here in the first game at second base. To right field, but sometimes has looked.
0-2 pitch and a fastball getting upstairs. He goes down on 3 strikes. And 1 left on base for Hyannis. They do put another runner across, though, in Cody Henry. Trail 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th from Doran Park on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
From the Cincinnati.
Bottom of the 6th, 2 lead for the Bourne Braves. And they will be up to bat for the Connor McVeigh, Danny Ray. But they will face a new pitcher on the mound in Alex House out of Florida Atlantic. Alex Eubank's final performance is finished 4 and has 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 earned, 2 and 4 strikeouts. So one Clemson Tiger. We'll see if it will be his final performance, unless maybe for the possible All-Star. But that one is lifted, foul by McVeigh, and it'll be a 1-1 count to Alex House.
And House, he's struggling his last 4 2/3 innings pitched.
That one's fouled away on the third base side as well by McVeigh, and it'll be a 1-2 count.
He's given up 4 earned runs on 6 hits combined in those ones. But he looked really good after Brewster, after he gave up those 3 hits, which were runs. After that, he was lights out. And then against Orleans, just struggled in 1 inning.
The 1-2 is lifted and drops into shallow center field for McVeigh. Leadoff base hit for Bourne here in this bottom of the 6th inning. And now up to bat will be Danny Reyes.
Reyes
From the University of Florida.
hit his first home run of the season last 6th game. Now here in his 7th game. Also had his first RBIs on the Cape. It was a 3-run shot. Also had a double against Chatham.
Out of the University of Florida. Only played in 6 games. 4 hits, 3 runs as he swings and misses at that one for the first strike by House. Both teams coming in here today in prime position, along with the Wareham Gatemen as well. Dio's breaking pitch way low and early in the dirt, but it's fanned by Reyes for an 0-2 count. Hyannis came in today sitting with 24 points, which is 4th right now in the West Division, but both Wareham and Bourne both came in with 27. And Hyannis tries to find a win today. They could put themselves outside by House for a 1-2 count. If Bourne today or Wareham loses and they find themselves to win, but for Hyannis looking for something to keep themselves in a spot to fight for that 3rd place position as Katuitt fighting back late in this season. As that one, a slow pitch as well, fouled off into the ground at Reyes, and he stays at a 1-2 count.
And Katuitt leading Brewster 5-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. They have been hot. Already with 9 wins on the season after starting the year with 1. Big Falmouth leading Wareham 10-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning at Arnie Allen Diamond.
House, the 1-2 pitch, and that one is way in the dirt once again, corralled by Hudgens. Back over to first. One thing you like to see as Wareham at the very. So if Hyannis is not able to find a way to win this, and they still would likely have an opportunity to go against Wareham, they wouldn't face Wareham head. Throw back over by House, tag, close one by Henry, but at least the opportunity for them, if they were to find games to win, Wareham to lose, to jump them in the standings and push them into the Cavaliers. 1-2 pitch, broken bat into the glove of Rutherford, scoops it over to second, play over at first, and they turn the double play. A play for Hyannis early on in this bottom of the 6th inning.
Great pitch executed by House. Good work from Rutherford. It was a slow roller. So Rutherford at second time. Good exchange from Proctor at second as well. Just like that, the leadoff hit is nulled. But looking at the scoreboard here, Chatham again and find themselves down 2-9.
Breaking ball drops in there for House for a called strike on Jeremy Ehrman.
Whitey Red Sox leading 3-0 in the bottom of the 3rd against Orleans. That one at Eldridge Park.
Fastball. It's in there as well to Ehrman, and he sits in an 0-2 hole.
It's Hyannis. They sit 12-15. Just 3 points above Katuitt, who's 10.
Goes down on 3 strikes, and House works his way through an inning. Only has to face 3 batters, but a 4-6-3 double play helps them out there for the defense. They still only trail by 2 as we head to the 7th inning of play from Bourne Park.
The Hammerhawks, the shortstop number 4.
Top of the 7, 4-2 lead for the Bourne Braves against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Strike so far this evening, and he's walked 3 straight times now. Once he looks in, deals, and that one misses upstairs, and they still are having trouble pitching.
Again, the kryptonite for this Bourne pitching squad.
is going to take a big turn around second, but he'll return back. And 2 hits in this inning for Hyannis, and they're finding some more momentum as they only trail 4-2 after the long fly out to center. Back Rutherford. Proctor at second, and Jordan Rogers.
Six innings of work. 5 of those have been in scoring position.
Here's Dylan. 1 out. And Little there's in and deals. First pitch breaking in the inside of the knees of Busby for a called strike. Another ACC matchup between these two players. Florida State, Brendan Little, UNC. And so far, Hyannis has done the work against the pitchers when it comes to these kind of matchups so far. With Cody Henry and Peter Zyla, first pitch is a fastball way upstairs and a 1-1 count to Busby.
I've not seen Henry from the right side.
Two-one count for Busby.